So I want to talk about World Diabetes Day, right? Which is typically November 14th, right? In the month of November. And they kind of dedicate this month to diabetes, which I think is a really awesome thing. However, I think I have also some concerns regarding this. Number one is, well, how come they haven't actually worked and figured out a solution for being a type 2 diabetic? Now, what's weird for me is that since I've been helping type 2 diabetics for 20 years, cases in my office actually get better, meaning they eliminate medication and they lose weight without exercising. And the approach I take is to go and figure out, well, why they're diabetic in the first place, right? Why is their blood sugar level high? Why are they struggling with weight? And I know what everybody's told. I know it's told to, watch what you eat, go lose some weight, or it's genetic, right? These are the common things that you've been told. Every diabetic's told this. And I did some homework on this, and I have just some concerns. Now, I don't like giving my opinion on this because this is a sensitive subject. I know it's sensitive to me because my grandmother died prematurely with diabetes when I was graduating high school. So everybody has a different viewpoint. So I just want to do this as a way to educate you, but in a point of asking questions. Now, I think at the end of the questions that I ask, you're going to have a conclusion probably similar to mine. Okay, but let me do this. I'm going to actually share my screen because I did some homework. And like I said, I've been doing this a long time. So let's think of this a little differently. Maybe this offers some insight for you. Okay, so here we go. Let me share my screen. Okay, so here is the page, okay, about World Diabetes Day, okay, and it tells you all about it, which is really cool. Now, what you'll find here is that it happened in 1991, where the International Diabetes Federation and the World Health Organization came together and they said, listen, let's make a day of November 14th to be the actual holiday, so to say, for type 2 diabetics. And their goal is to actually go and help people who were diabetic, which I think is a really good thing. Now, I guess the thing that I'm not fully aware of, okay, is that, they really want to give you the resources necessary. But this kind of stood out to me, and it's kind of confusing to me. But all of these people that are sponsoring this are drug companies. Okay, let's go one by one. Okay, let's start here. So this is a pharmaceutical company that actually makes money from people being diabetic. Okay, the next one we look at is this next company. They also, as you can see here, they are a diabetic company. So when you're a diabetic and you stay sick, they benefit from this. Okay, so they get paid because you stay sick. We look at now Lilly, which is one of the bigger companies. Okay, so we go over here and it talks about, insulin. And by the way, last week we had 4 patients in my office who were prescribed insulin when they first became diabetic, and now they're off of insulin. Their body doesn't need it anymore under the type of care that I do in my office. Okay, so even though insulin has been known to save lives, like if your blood sugar level's through the roof, and especially if you're a type 1 diabetic, insulin is outstanding. However, this company definitely benefits from people being on insulin. Okay, so kind of a question here that all of these are being sponsored. Now we have Merck. Everybody should be familiar with Merck, big company. Okay, Merck, same story. All right, same thing. They're a big drug company. As a matter of fact, on the front page here, they actually show you how much money they made from giving out drugs. Now, they don't only do diabetic medication. There's other meds, but they make money from people being sick. All right, so MDS, here's another one. So on MDS, we'll see that there's an earnings report right in the beginning to show you that they do earn money. Let's go to the next one here. So this is we'll accept the cookies here. This gives you education. There's a little cartoon they do here. This is a really good company for type 1 diabetes, but they also work with people who are type 2 as well. Okay, so type 1 is a whole different animal than type 2. We go to the next company here. All right, same thing, supporting diabetes programs. So this is the problem I run into. When they educate people on these diabetes programs, they're basically saying the same thing, right? Watch what you eat, go lose weight, take some meds, exercise. But it's still not answering, why is someone a diabetic? What is really under the root imbalances there? And the weird thing too is, well, my success rate doing the type of work I do is through the roof. Why are they not promoting me? And I can get into long stories about this when I actually presented the type of work in case study after case study in my office of people who are type 2 diabetic. They literally shut me down. They did not want any of my information to get out there about reversing diabetes. which has been a long, obviously, study on diabetes. Remember, the World Health Organization, the American Diabetic Association, talk about reversing diabetes for a long time. This is not a new topic, okay? And then the last one we look at here is another drug company. So once again, you can see that they're really important on making sure they have investors. And I'm not saying drug companies are all bad. I'm not saying that there's not a need for drug companies. But I'm just wondering, are they really working on your behalf to help you get better? Because essentially, if you got better and you were able to get your diabetes in a normal range and get your body functioning again, I don't know if you need them so much, right? It wouldn't be, you wouldn't help these people called the investors. Okay, so anyway, I want to show you just what it looks like, kind of in a scale of what happens when you actually work and get your body better. So this is a patient I actually just spoke to just before I'm doing this video. And we could see here, her blood sugar level before she met me was consistently in the 200s, taking a ton of insulin, taking every medication under the sun, extremely frustrated because she kept going back to her doctor over and over again. The doctor just said, here's another medication, here's another medication, here's another medication. So what I did with her is I put her on a really good plan, and it allowed me to know, how to actually help her. A component of that was diet, but diet is just the foundation. And then I put her on specific things that actually made the biggest difference for her. But I would always, just so you know, it always starts with a foundation, right? You need a simple foundation to obviously get yourself better. So anyway, long story short, we started care. And I think if you're aware on this, you could see kind of where care started was right here. And now her blood sugar levels are outstanding. She is not an overweight diabetic. She's not someone who needed to lose a ton of weight, maybe 5-10 pounds, nothing major. And she is literally ecstatic. She had said to me, and I quote, she felt like my care and the type of care that I deliver was a gift from God, because she has been searching for a solution for a long time. So why I'm showing you this is that there is a sign of hope. Now, you could take obviously all the medication in the world, right? And there's a time and place for that. But what it does is just puts Band-Aids on the problem. You really need to stabilize your blood sugar and really get to the root imbalances of what's causing it. So one thing that you could do, if you're a patient of mine, obviously you kind of have hand-holding in my office. But if you're not a patient of mine, what I put together, let me stop sharing this real quick. What I put together, and you'll see the link here, is that there's a simple, it's even free, there's a simple diabetic 21-day course that I put together about just basic diet things. There's nothing fancy, but it's a nice little foundation. And it's a good start of actually going and starting to help your own diabetes and your blood sugar level, because there's a lot of confusion out there related to diabetes, as well as related to like what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, and so forth. So anyway, if you're interested in that, just click on that link below. You'll get a free copy of it and so forth. Okay, so I hope this gives you an insight about like diabetes as a whole. And if you go and you spend some time and do some research on the American Diabetic Association, all these other groups, you'll see that all of their funding and money goes into the meds, and the drug companies pay for these things. So obviously these organizations making millions of dollars from drug companies are going to promote drugs. They're not likely going to really promote what you need to do to get yourself better. So what I'm doing is I'm going to actually help you. And the simplest way to do that is just download that free ebook, and that could put you on a course to getting yourself better. All right. Anyway, I hope that you do well with your diabetes and you obviously get the best outcome. So anyway, hopefully you got insight on this. Hopefully it opens up some questions for you. And I wish you nothing but the best. All right. Take care.